Welcome to the Goodwin Boxing, what was meant to be a head-to-head between Yaser Al Ghena and Oliver Duffy. If Oliver joins us during this, then it will become one. But otherwise, with us, we've got Yaser Al Ghena, Southern area, light welterweight, super lightweight. What do you like to call it?
Super lightweight.
Super lightweight champion. That's the American version. I don't like that.
Yeah. Whatever
Super
you want to call it, I don't mind.
I would say newly crowned. It's not new in the sense of it happened last year, but
Yeah.
it's your first defense of that super lightweight title at Southern area. Yaser Al Ghena, how are you, Yaser?
I'm great, man. How are you?
Very well, very well. Yeah, we went to doing a head-to-head with Oliver Duffy, who you make your first defense against on March the 9th at York Hall. Oliver hasn't made it here, but I say maybe he'll jump on and then we'll continue. But in the meantime, we're going to talk about your career to date so far. We'll cover some of that then. And let's start with the most important part of your career to date. You're a 10-0 fighter at this point.
Yeah.
The most important fight out of all of those, Yaser, I think we can all agree, is the Prosper fight that happened last year, picking up that Southern area title against an undefeated champion. Talk me through that night from your end.
Yeah, man. I mean, normally I get some sort of nerves or adrenaline coming in, but I was so relaxed. I was so confident because I knew I put in the work. And yeah, man. I mean, as well because it was being on Box Mania as well. It was a big show, so coming out to the lights, I've had a big crowd there, and it was basically a fight where everyone's like, all right, now it's time for Yas to be tested and see what he's really about. Do you know what I mean? Because when you're fighting journeyman, you're expected to win. But this was like, yeah. But, even the day before when I was with Steve, the odds had me 6-1 losing the fight. So, like, I took that all in. People been doubting me all my life, my whole career, to be fair, as a boxer. So I needed that. And I just said to my coach, watch tomorrow, innit? I kept it humble, but at the end of the day, Aaron was a big prospect. He had 4 knockouts, so people saying he's got power. We stuck to the game plan. Because we didn't want to go in there straight in a tear up. If someone's got power. And yeah, man, the victory was there, man. I mean, it was God's plan.
At the end of that first round, I was there watching it, commentating on it. I've got to be honest with you, Yaser. I thought this ain't looking good for you, man. Aaron was sort of on top of the fight after round 1. Did you feel his power? Did you feel sort of the pressure that he was putting on?
I don't know where it was. I think it was either the first round or second round. He caught me flush. And then I think one of the commentators, I don't know who it was, said I got rocked. I spun him around. And as soon as I took that right hand, I knew that was it. And then when I came out from the third round and I got my range, and I think it was the last 10, 20 seconds of the round 3. That's when I was like, this is my fight. As soon as I done the shuffle, the little Ali shuffle, I knew that's it. This is my fight. I was in my zone. I just had to feel him out. When I was doing my feints, I had to just, analyze, see what he does. And yeah, and then when I realized the power as well, I knew the power went there. So, I mean, credit to the guy though, man. Like, at the end of the day, like, you can't take anyone. Like, he knocked out Tom. He knocked out Tom in the first round. So you can't take risks, especially with a fight like that with 8-ounce gloves.
Yeah, I think it was actually me that said you got rocked at the end of that first round. But as you say, you spun and you gave a little jig on the way out of it as you went back to your corner.
Yeah, so I spun and smiled, and then that's when I knew, because I took the right hand flush. He caught me on the ropes. I caught it flush, and then that's when I knew from there.
Yeah, and it was an incredible performance from round 3 onwards. I don't think you lost a round. Sort of, I didn't score it as you.
Yeah, so that was the plan. So the plan was just to box him. His plan. I know their plan was to try to take me to deep waters because they are going off my last performance. At I can't remember where it was, but they think that I couldn't do the 10 rounds. So as as you said as well in the commentary, if you go to Andy, you do your 10 round fighter, your 15 round fighter. The
Yeah.
fear, the training there, you've seen the training, you see the people that everyone's been doing, they do rounds after rounds. So, the fitness wasn't a problem, but it was just a game plan not to get in, just box and move. And towards the end of the second half of the fight, make him miss and make him pay. And the plan was to take him out. So it did come. I just had to be patient.
You were patient. And one thing that impressed me actually about it, Yaser, was you seemed quite happy to circle onto his right hand,
Yeah,
which for fighter Aaron Prosper, who was sort of billed as having an awful lot of power, to have the
yeah,
bravery to circle onto the right hand rather than away from it, as
yeah,
a lot of fighters would have, almost took it
yeah,
away from him because it took away his distance as well.
yeah. Nah, that's to be honest, that's what he was trying to do. I was boxing, but he was just trying to take me out. He was just trying to do power shots, and that's where I got to him. So as the rounds were going on, I can see in his eyes he's doubting himself and he's getting less confident. And I'm just doing what I got to do. And this is boxing. At the end of the day, man, you gotta be smart. At the end of the day, I left the ring, with not even a scar on my face. So that's what boxing is. You know what I mean? You gotta box smart.
And that ending as well was spectacular. Like the combination that you threw to end the fight.
Yeah, yeah,
And I know
yeah.
there's
So I had to normally the fight before that. When I dropped him, I was just because it was the first time I actually dropped someone in the pro. So I just went for it. So there was no like I wasn't thinking the way I was throwing. It was just like it was all a shock to me. So it's good that happened because when I hurt Aaron, I was more composed and I was picking my shots. And most of the punches I threw all landed. So yeah, I mean like credit to him. Like he took them and but he I knew he wasn't coming out after that because if he was, it was gonna be yeah. I mean the corner did the right thing because even after the fight I went to like try pick him up because he was sitting on the stool and he couldn't stand up. So the coach was trying to leave him. So I just left him. So they done the right thing. At the end of the day, man, this is boxing. We want to go back to our families, safe and sound, and you gotta look out for your fighter. And like you said, because he was losing most of the fight, there was a point for him to come out for the last round and get hurt. So
yeah.
so yeah. But no, like obviously he will bounce back. I mean, he's a good fighter, but it was just my night.
So moving on then, Yasser, you make your first defence of that title, 9th of March, York Hall.
Yeah.
And you've got Oliver Duffy. So Oliver Duffy is a 5-0 fighter.
Yeah.
Did you, at any point when this fight was sort of given to you, did you think, like, no, I don't want an undefeated fighter for a first defence. I can move upwards and on towards the English title? Or were you more, yeah, all right, let's have another undefeated fighter?
To be honest, like when I got the Ollie Duffy fight, I was more relieved. I was like, you know what, I got to fight. I didn't really want to defend myself in there. I wanted to move on to the English. But as you know, there's a lot of things, a lot of politics and stuff. So I'm just, waiting in line. But yeah, like credit to the guy. I mean, he's actually I got to thank him because I couldn't get a fight because Steve was telling me like, it's not like I'm not like Mike Tyson. Everyone's feared of me. It's just in this boxing game, people just want to take easy fights. Like I know most people wouldn't have taken that fight with Aaron for a Southern area. Because that fight was not a Southern area title fight. It should have been for an English. Do you know what I mean? It should have been televised as well. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, like credit to the guy. He's got me a fight, which he's hungry. He's a good kid, and I've known him for years. I mean, we went to the same boxing club
Okay.
as an amateur. So I remember when I was at Finchley ABC, I think, because we're quite of an age difference, me and him. So he was a little boy, he was a little kid. He used to come with his dad. You know, his dad's a good guy. And yeah, I believe it or not, I bumped into him 2 weeks ago in Tesco's. I bumped into him and his dad. But yeah, it was mutual. We shook hands, mutual respect, man. We said it's gonna be a great fight. And yeah, man, like, at the end of the day, it's just, you know what I mean? I got nothing bad to say against him, man. At the end of the day, like, we're fighters, you know, and you know, we know what we gotta do. So after the fight, it'll be all good, man.
Have you sparred him before then, as adults, not
Nah,
as youth?
I've never sparred him. But you know, I've been in the gym with him a few times. I think he was at Pug Gym as well, so I used to see him there. But we never sparred. And we got a lot of mutuals, So a lot of people know. So I think a lot of people are talking more about this fight than the Aaron fight, just because we have a lot of mutuals, and we're from like, I didn't know he was from the same area because obviously I've seen him in Tesco's a few times. I've seen his dad as well a few times. So like, yeah, we got quite a bit of mutuals, and the coaches as well. His coach knows me. I know his coach. So yes.
So does that mean anything then in terms of how you're preparing for this fight? And obviously, Andy Gill, your coach, will have you in the gym working as hard as ever. But I mean, can you feed into him ideas for a game plan, or is it all being driven by Andy to you?
Um, the training stays the same. I'm professional. That's like after the Aaron Prosper fight, there's no taking anyone. You know, I have to train the same I train the same for every fighter. So I'm training the same. I'm putting in the work. Regarding game plan, the game plan was my game plan. I told Andy the game I want to do. So yeah, we'll see that on the night.
And is that sort of born out of your experience of working with Oliver in the past and seeing how he is?
No, it's just no. I haven't seen too much of him, to be honest. I haven't seen any of his fights. I haven't seen him box, so I don't really know too much of him. Even I've never like I don't think I've even seen him. I don't think I've seen him spar. I think times I've been in the gym, I think he's either like been training or you know. But yeah, no, I haven't really seen too much of him. But you know, like I know he's more of like a elusive fighter. So he's more like slick.
Yeah. And then post March 9th, if you get the win that you're clearly planning on working towards, what do you see as the future for you for this year? Sort of, you mentioned there about looking at maybe vacating the title. Do you see yourself working towards that English if the opportunity sort of arises?
Definitely. No, definitely, man. That's the steps, you know what I mean? Southern Herald and English. So the plan is the English. You know, so hopefully, you know, get this fight out of the way. And then we can, yeah, I'll leave it to Steve. You know, no, Steve knows what he's doing. You know, he promised me a title shot by end of the year, and he delivered. So big fan to Steve, man.
Excellent. And then yeah, are there any sponsors you want to shout out? Any people supporting your career? Yes, are those that are helping you build towards March 9th?
To be honest, I need to look at my sponsors. Who's my sponsors? Yeah, I got quite a few. One second.
That's all right. In the meantime, March 9th, get onto Goodwin Boxing, their website. It's going to be a hell of a fight between two young, hungry, undefeated fighters. So get onto Goodwin Boxing to get your tickets. Get onto Yaser directly to get your tickets. In the meantime, he's now back with his list of sponsors and people supporting his career, which are always important to boxers. So I'd like to give him a mention.
Thank you, man. So we got Coolio Productions, who just joined the team. We got Multi Cars Services, Mo Health, who does my physio, Gold Tuning, Gold is Green MOTs, Sparklight, and that's about it.
Excellent.
So
and clearly a thank you to Andy Gill in the gym as well, getting you on the pads, getting you the sparring, getting you the hard work, building up to it.
Big fat Andy Gill, man. He's turned me into a monster.
He tells everyone. I've seen how he treats you. Like
Yeah, he does, man. He's killing us, but you know it's all paying off. So you know, credit to my coach, man. He's putting time and effort into us, and he takes the training seriously. and he trains us like real professionals. So, you know, big shout out to Andy and everyone at Evolve, my team, my sparring partners, you know, that push me. So yeah, man, it's all good.
Excellent. Yaser, thank you so much for your time. March 9th, again, York Hall, defending that title. Wish you nothing but the best for that and then going on to the rest of 2024, man.
Thank you, Martin, man. I'll see you there.
Excellent. Appreciate it. Take care.